Greetings to all amateur radio operators. This is Mark, N4UFP, with the South Carolina Section Manager's Report for October 2021. Please remember that the South Carolina Section website can be found at ARRLSC.org, where my full report will be listed, as well as up-to-date information on amateur radio in South Carolina. To the best of my knowledge, there are no South Carolina Hamfests scheduled between now and the end of March 2022. If anyone has a Hamfest coming up in our section, please let me know, and I will include it in my next report and post the information on the section webpage. I begin this month's section report with some bad news. The passing of Joe Gault, W4WZ, a longtime resident of Spartanburg, South Carolina. Joe was 97 when he became a silent key, and for most of his life, he was an active amateur radio operator. Not content just to be on the air, Joe took an active role in promoting amateur radio. He was an Elmer to an untold number of amateurs in the state of South Carolina, but the name and call sign of one of these young amateurs mentored by him stands out. Riley Hollingsworth, K4ZDH, who was responsible for the FCC's enforcement activities in amateur radio for many years. Riley was kind enough to share some thoughts about Joe with me, stating that, "To me, Joe was the inspiration of everything related to radio. It has been said that teachers may well be immortal because no one knows when or even if their influence ever ends." Next, Public Information Coordinator Gordon Mooneyhan, W4EGM, reports that the York County Amateur Radio Society is seeking volunteers to assist with the Rock Hill Christmas Parade, which will be December 3rd from 5 until 9 p.m. The link to sign up will appear in the description below. There are two events coming up in the first quarter of 2022 that present opportunities for amateur radio volunteers, according to Gordon. The first is the 25th Myrtle Beach Marathon, scheduled for March 5th, 2022. The other is the Sandblast Rally. It takes place in the Sandhills between Cheraw and McBee, South Carolina. I don't have a firm date yet, but more information will be forthcoming. This year's hurricane season has been a relatively quiet one in South Carolina, for which I suspect everyone has breathed a sigh of relief. Nevertheless, ARRL and Auxcom volunteers have had a busy summer preparing for the worst-case scenarios that never appeared, and I would like to thank them for their efforts. I would also like to thank personnel of South Carolina Emergency Management Division, particularly Gabe Turner, KJ4EEZ, as well as all the county-level emergency management personnel who worked with ARRL and Auxcom volunteers this year. I'd like to thank them specifically for the support and training they provided to the amateur community during our 2021 hurricane season. We are now getting into the fall contesting season, and there are a couple of contests coming up in November and December that you may be interested in. This coming weekend features the ARRL Sideband Sweepstakes, which runs from 2100 Zulu, 20 November, until 0259 Zulu, 22 November. For more details, go to arrl.org/sweepstakes. ARRL has two additional contests on the schedule in December, the ARRL 160-meter contest and the ARRL 10-meter contest. The 160-meter contest begins at 2200 Zulu Friday, December 3rd, and ends at 1559 Zulu Sunday, December 5th. To learn more, visit arrl.org/160-meter. The ARRL 10-meter contest starts at midnight Zulu Saturday, 11 December, and runs through 2359 Zulu Sunday, 12 December. For more information, visit contests.arrl.org. That's all for this month. Please stay safe. 73, Mark, N4UFP.